Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure my window will work before we get completely into this. Pass this Okay, yeah, so it works. So I'm just gonna send the stream out to everyone real quick, and then we will be on our way. Oh shoot! There we go. So there we go. Welcome to the Daytona 500 for this sim series. We had to cut the field down just a little bit so we could bring you this race tonight. It is Greg Biffle still on the pole position though, and we actually did end up cutting Paul Menard and Brian Vickers on the field, so we could have enough cars out, so we could have, you know, the top 35 out here and such. Live streaming these probably won't be frequent, but without further ado, let us get into our starting grid for this Daytona 500. Greg Biffle is on the pole position with Ricky Rudd to his outside, and then you have Clint Boyer and Dale Earnhardt Jr., Robbie Gordon and Jeremy Mayfield in makeup row 3, Paul Menard and Kevin Harvick in row 4. I lied about Paul Menard not being out here, my bad. David Gillen and Michael Waltrip row 5, with David Stremme and Jeff Green in row number 6. Casey Kane and David Reagan make up row number 7, and then Kyle Petty and Mike Bliss in row 8. Bobby O'Bonney and Dave Blaney in row 9, with Carl Edwards and Joe Nemechek behind them. Row 10 consists of Mike Skinner, who barely beat Mike Wallace into this race, with Mark Martin outside of him. Jeff Burton and Casey Mears with Jimmy Johnson and J.J. Yaley behind them. Jamie McMurray and Martin Truex Jr. with Sterling Marlin and Jeff Gordon. Elliott Sadler and Scott Riggs make up your next row, with Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart behind them. Matt Kenseth and Juan Pablo Montoya make up row number, I believe that is 14? No, that is way further back. I think that's like row 18. Row 19 consists of Reed Thornton and Ryan Newman. Row 20, Tony Raines and Dale Jarrett. And rounding out the field is Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch. Now, without further ado, let's go trackside to get the command. Wait, let me actually check how many stages we have tonight. That is not the right window. I think we'll be able to get our stage links in a second. But let's go down trackside to get the command to fire engines. I think it's actually just going to be 25, 25, 50. But I just wanted to make sure. And I don't know how I managed to miss the little command soundbite every single time. So we're just going to let it roll for the next few seconds. And then we're going to get the command to fire up engines here in Daytona. And the engines are fired up, finally, here in Daytona, as the field's set to roll off pit road. So what makes this button 2026? Well, we just follow the same rules other than double file restarts. We are still doing single file here for the restarts of these cars, but everything else, stages, green, white checkers, the chase, the points, all the same. It's a beautiful day for racing here in Daytona, and we are getting ready to go. Sorry about my background, if you heard that. But it is a great day for racing, and we are going to go green here in Daytona. So the keys to the race. We saw a bunch of crashes in the duels. We saw I believe it was 2 apiece. And both Duel 1 and Duel 2, we saw the wreck caused by Sterling Marlin in Duel 1, where he unsafely rejoined the track, and then we saw that trial of a wreck with Tony Raines and others also in that first duel. And then in Duel 2, we saw, I'm blanking on who caused that first wreck in Duel number 2, but I remember that Matt Kenseth caused the second wreck. So the field, double file here for 3 and 4 as they come to take the green flag here in Daytona. Biffle on the inside, Ricky Rudd on the outside as the pace car is about to take a hard left turn down to pit road, and we are going to get the green flag for this 100 lap Daytona 500. Here we come. The field's gonna roar to life here in just a moment. The pace car takes a hard left turn down pit road here, and we are going to be green in the Daytona 500. Biffle leads us to it. And this first lap is a get up to speed lap, so you may see some people getting aggressive early, trying to make moves to the lead, as you see Clint Boyer already doing, as they head off through turn 1 and 2 down the back of straightaway. Boyer and Biffle side by side for the lead as they head for turn number 3. Boyer with help from Robbie Gordon, and Biffle's helping Ricky Rudd just quite isn't there yet. But that inside's going to be making up some ground. Robbie Gordon's not going to wait long. He wants to lead the first lap of the 500 for himself. Boyer with no help up top now. And it'll be Robbie Gordon who leads us across the line. I just pressed something. My mistake. He goes up top now. Robbie Gordon. I don't know why I was tripping over my own words. Gordon up top. Now Menard's going to go to take the lead away. And these first 2 laps, they're not fully up to speed yet. Up to their 100%. So what can happen is we see a lot of shuffling around. Still not able to figure things out. As now David Gilliland takes the lead away from Paul Menard as they race side by side, all behind them. I swear to God. Couple of rows back. Again, David Stremme onto the apron. As they race 3 wide for turn 1, Kane may get split into the middle here. As they race 3 wide for 1 and 2, Stremme, Kane, Petty, Gilliland. But Kane able to get a bit of a push off to. Now can Stremme hold the lead from the top side, or will he just give it up like everyone else who's taking the top has? There was a tiny bit of a package change coming into today, but it could have also been Kyle Petty going up the block. It could also be the day version of this track causing not having the competitive racing that we had in the duels and the clash. I hope that's not the case, as David Reagan gets pushed 3 wide. He's going to be side by side with Bobby O'Bonney here for 1 and 2. Petty still trying to stay on the quarter of the 6, so the 6 cannot get clear, and that is what's going to happen. Reagan can't clear. He's going to get put in the middle now. Now you're going to see these guys start to get racy. Edwards looking 3 wide here. They may be 4 wide here as they head off into turn 3. Exactly what's going to happen here. They're going to be 4 wide just for a moment, but they're going to settle it back down to 2 potentially. Yes, they will. Well, that's encouraged all these other guys to get 2 and 3 wide. Now Edwards trying to take this spot away from David Reagan. And only 2 cars on that very bottom lane right now. Edwards and Nemechek as Kyle Busch gets pushed out of line further back. Hopefully he can re-enter safely, which he does. So no problems back there. They're going to be 3, maybe 4 wide again here off turn 2. Nemechek now with a push from Mike Skinner, but Reagan's going to clear into the lead. Reagan in the lead for now, but Edwards trying to clear for 3 and 4. Reagan might have a little bit of a big push from Obani here off turn number 4. But it's going to be Edwards who leads the lap just barely by a nose over the 6 car, which was driven by Mark Martin up until last year. Side by side again, still 3 wide. Nemechek now trying to take the lead in his 13 car. Reagan struggling up top, not much momentum up there, really up high. But they're able to get the runs down the straightaways as we are just 6 laps into this Daytona 500. They're racing like it's lap 96. Here comes Johnson. He started further back. It didn't take him long to start making his charge to the front of the field, as they may be 4 wide again. No, Edwards able to clear himself up in time. Edwards now completely clear of the back. And everyone's just trying to settle in for now. The longest either of the duels made it without having a wreck was lap 8, and that was duel 1, and we're getting near that lap 8 mark right now. And we still have not seen our first crash of the day. So that means everyone's being calm and orderly, as we still go 3 wide here for 3 and 4. Edwards, McMurray, Marlin, Johnson. McMurray's going to get a big shove. He may be able to completely clear everyone, but he's not going to try until the very last second. He didn't try to clear up until really late there. I thought he was about to just keep going down low. Ended up not being the case here. And we are now on lap 8, so we're going to make it to lap 9. So full field of cars makes it further than the duel. Than 2 duels with nearly a full field of cars. Not quite a full field though. There's still 4 wide back here. Truex has been like trapped 4 wide for like 3 laps. It's a miracle they have not wrecked back there. I shouldn't jinx them. They may be 4 wide for the lead here off 4, because here comes Sorensen with a big move up the middle. Well, they're going to make it to lap 9, but who knows if we're going to see lap 10 of the full field. So this may be every fan's last chance to see every car in one piece. Gordon, a little on the apron here in 1 and 2. I don't know if he's going to get up safely. I think he just did. I hope he did. 4 wide for the lead. Now it's going to be back to 3 for the lead. Johnson goes up to block the 14 car of Marlin. And he's going to get a big shove down the back straight away. And then 4 wide behind them for second. Truex, who has had no help, has basically just driven up here on his own. Newman's going to go block Truex. They're going to be 4 wide for the lead potentially if Stremme can get there. Lap 10. Oh, Stremme's going to go. Oh, they're crashing. They're going to crash. And they're not done. Somehow they hung on to that. I am not sure how they hung on to that, but they did. We were wrecked like twice right there. But this pack's lost all of its momentum because of that, because they were all checking up. And that's allowed Kurt Busch to take the lead. Let's take a look at that as the field tries to regroup. Marlin got contact from his teammate in the 13. I thought he was going around for sure. And then look at the 40 and 44. Great job avoiding the wall for them. But it was risky to run 4 wide this early, and you almost saw the disastrous outcome of that. Luckily, there wasn't many cars up there, which I think helped the 40 and 44. Now the field's just got to regroup. It's still Johnson with the lead. And it's a small train of cars leading us, and then the big pack. And remember, we're stage racing this year. So Johnson with the lead over Newman, Sorensen, and Kurt Busch. And maybe this can allow everyone to make it to the stage break. Biffle's actually fallen back some. I'm going to try to check when the stage breaks are. 30 and 63, okay. So I was a little off with my stage break predictions, but it's all good. So we got about 20 laps to the stage end. Johnson still leads us down the front straightaway in the pack, starting to catch back up. They may be about to wreck back there in the pack though, if they're not too careful. But everyone's spread out, just trying to get back into their rhythm. Sorensen down low with Kurt Busch, who started in dead last. Johnson on the outside. McMurray down to push as well. McMurray, Johnson, Busch. That's Sorensen, not McMurray. But still, Sorensen, Johnson, Busch, Newman, McMurray, Blaney, Hamlin, Jeff Green in the 66. All these guys starting to catch back up to the lead pack. But how long will it take everyone to be fully regrouped as they head for 3 and 4? Now Kurt Busch trying to take the lead away here on the apron. Kurt Busch with the lead now once again. He'll lead over Reed Sorensen. McMurray's going to go back to the inside. Blaney now 3 wide for the race lead as they head through 1 and 2. He's going to clear. There's not much of a momentum in the pack right now for these guys, but there may be soon, because Kurt Busch is getting a bit of a run on the top side. So is McMurray, but it may be because the 66 is trying to make it 4 wide for the race lead. They are going to be 4 wide. Green, McMurray, Busch, Blaney. 4 wide for the lead as they come down the front straightaway. McMurray still hanging on the 22's quarter panel. He may be able to stay away from here for 1 and 2. Yeah, they'll be able to stay side by side. And now Green trying to make a move for the race lead. Bliss starting to lose the draft a little bit. That may be good for him. We almost saw them all wrecking there, so he may want to hang back some. But now you see pretty much the whole field is grouped back up to how they were before that near massive crash on the front straightaway heading for turn 1. But it's still Blaney continuing to lead, continuing to click off these laps. But here comes Hamlin to the inside for the race lead. Blaney's going to move up high. Blaney, Hamlin, side by side. I don't know if Hamlin can clear. I don't think he can. As they race down the back straightaway, McMurray giving a shove to the 22. Through 3 and 4, it's the Gibbs teammates of Hamlin and Yaley. Down low, Blaney up high. Down the front straightaway, that third line there on the bottom, can't get it working currently. But as I say that, the 66 is starting to make some ground. Hamlin and Yaley noticed that. I think the 66 actually just came up to join them, because now they're 4 wide again. They learned absolutely nothing from that near disaster just a couple laps ago, not even 10 laps ago. Hamlin may come up to block Blaney. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there. Maybe not. No, he does not have time to jump up there. So he's going to still control. Oh, he is clear. Montoya going for the lead now. They may be free wide here as they come off forward because Mike Martin wants to take the lead for himself. Jeff Green in the middle of 4 wide now. Hamlin beats them to the line. We may be 4 wide for the lead in a second because Ricky Rudd's trying to make something happen. Hamlin up top. Montoya is coming up the racetrack here. Martin had the chance to clear. Doesn't do it. They're going to be 4 wide still for a little bit. Back to 3 as Montoya with a huge shove from Yaley. Back to 2 wide now. Montoya goes up the block, Hamlin up top. He thinks there's a run coming. I don't even think there's a run coming from there. There actually may be one coming. At the stripe, it's Martin who leads the lap. Oh, the 88's on the apron. This can't end too well. Will it? No, it won't. There's your first crash of the day. Several cars in the wall hard. They couldn't make it work for much longer, and you see the result. Hamlin in it, Yaley. We were just talking about how good they were doing. Blaney, Mears, Montoya's gonna maybe have the lead when they get back to the stripe. Edwards on the apron, Hamlin. There's Sorensen involved. It only took us, what, 20 laps to do this? And it's the outside pole sitter of Ricky Rudd who initiated the accident. Jarrett nowhere to go. Mears actually went upside down there on the banking. Let's see what happened to Mears. Yeah, he just got slammed in the door. That was your first caution of the afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Kenseth, smoke pouring out, Newman. I just knocked my mic onto the desk. That's about 12, 13 cars damaged. I don't know how beat up this 7 car is. We'll see who decides to peel down pit road here, though. For the first pit stops of the day. Other than the guys that are sitting here with damage. And it looks like everybody's going to come down. So Montoya leads them down pit road here for the first pit stops of the day. And how many of them will take just fuel and no tires? Not many of them, it seems. Yeah, nobody stayed out. Gillen to getting tires, sells Menard. I think Kurt Busch actually got a high pit selection for qualifying last. Biffle's gonna pit. He has some damage. Montoya's gonna win off pit road. Then Martin, Kane, Gordon, Labonte, Kyle Busch, Reigns. As the field climbs back onto the banking. Some of the damaged cars have re-entered the race. Hamlin, Kenseth, Newman, Mears, Jarrett, Sadler, Blaney, Nemechek, Boyer are all out. I don't know why I can't spit it out. But we just got a couple laps until the stage end. So how hard will these guys run for that one? And some of these guys are also racing for the free pass. Edwards back down pit road though. And we'll see how competitive these guys can still be with their damaged race cars. I don't think they're going to be very competitive though, as they come back to the restart zone. About 27 good cars left in this one as we come to take the green flag. Montoya leads us away. And let's see how well Biffle, Rudd, and others can keep up. Rudd doesn't seem too badly damaged, all things considered. But we'll see once everyone's up to full speed. So the 88 will be someone to keep an eye on as we start to get up to speed. Kurt Busch a little bit slow here. I guess everyone's just trying to get grouped up and stuff. Sorensen also seems to have a solid car still. So watch out for him if we get more cautions, if he can keep up here as well. Because it's if person A, B, C, or D can keep up, you know. I think Truex has a little bit of damage on his car because he was slowing up that bottom lane before jumping up. Or he just had a little trouble getting up to speed because now he's able to keep up. As we race towards the stage 1 end. Labonte with the lead down low here as they come to the tri-oval. Yeah, I think the 40 and 88 are the last competitive cars left. So we still have about 27 cars capable of potentially winning this thing out here. Now they're going to be free wide for the lead again. And will they pit again when we get the stage caution? Or how many of them do pit? I think we're racing to the end of lap 30 for the stage end, if my memory serves me correct, from the season 33 Paper Mason we did here with auto stages. Menard, Bliss, and Kurt Busch losing the draft here as they run free wide. Here through the tri-oval. Menard may be able to jump down and clear him though. Yeah, I think Busch got some sort of damage from that wreck because he's been struggling to keep up since we went back green. So if that is the case, 26 good cars left, which still isn't bad. But we would have wished to have 42 good cars out here still, you know. Johnson with a push from Junior side by side with Reagan for the lead now. As they come for the tri-oval, Reagan's going to lead the lap. Menard may be able to come challenge for some stage points as well. And they're going to be free wide here as Stewart tries to make the bottom work. Free by free. Kurt Busch still falling back from that little group. Kyle Petty going for the race lead now after shoving David Reagan out ahead of everyone. As we come to lap 30 and potentially the white flag in stage 1. And it's going to be the white flag in stage 1 again, potentially, as Kyle Petty leads us across the stripe. Gillen pushing Petty, but Gillen may look low. No, Petty's going to hang on to the bottom. He can clear high if he needs to, which he may need to, if Reagan's going to be able to give him a shot here down the back straightaway. There's going to be Petty versus Gillen for the first stage win of the season. Side by side for 3 and 4. As they come off turn 4, Gillen's going to get the lead, and I believe will be your stage 1 winner from Daytona. Or maybe not. Harvick's looking low. Yes, it'll be Gillen that leads the lap. And I believe the caution would be out the next time we hit the line, because I don't think I selected the no cautions one. I will check that. Stage 1 complete, yep. So I guess we'll let them come back here. But I guess they're trying to let the whole field cross. But it's still Harvick leading. For now, we'll throw it manually, I guess. If they don't call it right here. Which I don't know why they haven't called it. There's your caution for the stage end. So it's Harvick ahead. Oh, I think it was Gillen who won the first stage, my bad. But let me make sure it's not all screwed up. Yeah, so there's your stage 1 results. Gillen, Harvick, Petty, Mayfield, Reagan, Jr., Waltrip, Rains, Burton, Martin. So yeah, so it just took him a little bit longer to throw the stage caution. And then we're racing to lap 63 for the second stage. As the field slows down, 26 cars still capable of winning this race left in the pack. And the free pass under this yellow will go to Reed Sorensen in the 41 whenever he catches up. Yep, so there's Sorensen going to take his free pass here under the second caution of the day. And everyone may be coming down pit road again, it seems. No, Edwards is gonna stay out and take a wave around, I think. Yeah, Edwards is lapped, isn't it? So, yeah, if that's the case, then Edwards and Yaley just took a wave around too. Yeah. Okay. And the 66 is also taking a wave by. Meanwhile, Harvick wins off pit road here as the field comes back off pit road. And I think we should get the 1 to go signal this time by. Yes, we will. So the green flag will fly here once again from Daytona here to start stage number 2. Racing the lap 63, so under 30 laps until then. Pace car dives on the pit road. Green flag back in the air. Harvick leads him to it. And if you're Ricky Rudd in 88 who got stuck behind Kurt Busch from this pit cycle, you need to find a way to get in line here. Unless they fix what was wrong with the 2, because he's up here passing people. Or maybe just because Greg Biffle is up there and he's holding people up now. McMurray trying to get past, and he will by the 26 of McMurray. I mean, by the 2016 of Biffle. Sorry. As they run through 1 and 2, Gordon now with the race lead. Tony Raines looking inside. Raines in the 96, side by side of Gordon for the race lead. As they head down this back straightaway. Now Kane looking low with help from Labonte and Stewart as they race to turn 3 and 4. It's going to be Kane nosing out Tony Raines for the race lead. And then that small little line of cars just behind the pack trying to catch up. Stewart gets forced on the apron there by Labonte, but he's able to come back up. Kane still leads the field down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Kurt Busch may not have all of his problems solved as the 88 is going to pass him back here for 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. Four wide again here at the front of the pack though. Mayfield making it 4 wide. Kane with the lead up top. So Kane ahead of Stewart and Mayfield. 4 wide still further back in the pack. Now Marlin looking low. Reagan in the middle, 4 wide with no help. Stewart holds the lead across the line as we're about 20 laps from the end of the second stage. Lap cars may be a problem, but they're drafting together, so we shall see. Mayfield now going to try to clear to the lead, but Stewart still fighting hard on the top side. Oh, almost contact there. That almost set off another wreck. As they still continue to run 3 and 4 wide. There may be 4 wide for the lead here as they come down the front straightaway. If Kane can hang on here on the very top side, which he will do. Kane hangs on. Mayfield side drafting Stewart, who's trying to clear in front of Kane so he can have the top side. Mayfield starting to slip back though. He has no help right there. And Kane may be letting Stewart in just to make sure he doesn't get wrecked. Yes, he is. But Sterling Marlin on the bottom trying to clear for the race lead. Mayfield in the middle, with help from David Reagan, Kyle Busch down low, helping the 14 of Sterling Marlin. Marlin may get shoved up the track here, but I don't think there's anywhere for him to go. 3 wide across the stripe. It's going to be Jeremy Mayfield leading that lap, though. Now Kyle Busch is going to make it 4 wide here up the middle. So that may kill the momentum here for Sterling Marlin, or may force him to move up, as that may be hurting the top lanes more than the bottom lane. I think the bottom lane's really feeling it now, though, because Junior has to let Busch in the line here. Will Busch take it? Yes, he does. So now the inside has to start reworking, trying to get side by side with Mayfield and Stewart again. But they can't quite make it happen, as Mayfield still leads them across the stripe. Mayfield, Marlin, Stewart, now Truex making it 4 wide. That may allow the advantage to the 14. They may try to stay side by side with him off turn 2 here, which they will do. They're going to stay 3 wide. Here comes Paul Menard on the bottom. Marlin's actually going to get trapped behind the 36 here of Jeremy Mayfield, because he wasn't able to have enough of a push from Martin Truex. Mayfield may be about to clear into the race lead. Does he block the top, or Stewart's coming? Yes, he does, as they come across the stripe. Where does he block now? There's 4 lanes for you to block behind you. Menard forcing the bottom lane up, or the middle lane up. This could be a dream scenario for the 36, because no one's able to generate much of a run for now. But Menard may be forced to take a spot in line behind the 14 of Sterling Marlin, or he's just going to side draft. Here comes Scott Riggs on the bottom with a push from Jeff Burton. 4 wide for the lead momentarily, and then they settle it down back to 2. Mayfield still leads them across the line. Let's check up on these lap cars. They're about halfway down the back straight. Can Riggs and Burton get back on track here? No, they can't. They're going to crash here in turn number 1. Second one of the day. Stewart on his side, rolling down the banking. Skinner's going to get into Jeff Gordon. They're still wrecking down the banking here. They need to check up. That's the second time we've seen an accident like that occur today. Tony Stewart with a big roll down the banking. He is smoking right now. Get it? Smoke is smoking. Anyway, let's take a look at what happened. Because that may have just wiped a good chunk of other cars out of the Daytona 500. What happened here? Yeah, Riggs, it's a similar situation to what happened earlier. Riggs comes up. Bam. Robbie Gordon just gets clipped right there at the end. You know, you think you have it cleared. Same for Mark Martin. You think you have it clear. And then Skinner just gets straight into the back of Gordon. I think that's going to damage him pretty badly. And pending this, it says that Carl Edwards will be a free pass, assuming the lap cars don't stay out on an extra lap again and take the wave by. But about 20 potentially fast cars still left out here. We're going to see if Edwards pits. Actually, let's just go ahead and give him the wave by. Petty is going to stay out, though. Petty and Waltrip. as they come down pit road. Meanwhile, for the pit stops, I think Mayfield will be the one that has to stay the longest here because of his damage. What, Harvick's going to lead them off? No, it'll be Jeff Burton who leads them off pit road. Here's what's the race off pit road. Burton, Harvick, Gilliland, Busch, Range, Jr. And then it's Labonte, Rudd, Skinner. And then Gordon with damage, missing Hood. But it'll be Kyle Petty who leads the Daytona 500 when we do go back green, which will be in another lap or so. I assume that there's the rest of the lap down cars heading for pit road. So it'll be about 13 laps until we get the stage 2 ending in that caution. Mark Martin back out on the racetrack. He's about a lap down. But here we come back to the restart. We're about to see how many competitive cars left we have for the final half of this Daytona 500. Green flag back in the air. And luckily for Ricky Rudd, he does not come out behind Kurt Busch this time. So he's able to get a better restart. I don't think people like Robbie Gordon have too much damage, though, to their cars. But this needs to get down because McMurray is really slow at the moment. But we'll see how many of the cars that were involved in that wreck are still quick and able to compete for the win. Edwards seems to be keeping up with Menard well. As he almost gets blocked by teammate McMurray here as they come down the front straightaway. Now about Jeff Gordon hanging on up here with a missing hood. Seems to be still capable of competing for the win as Harvick and Burton have made their way back to the front. I don't know how quick Mark Martin is still, but he seems to be making good headway up back there. Looks like he's about to get the 26 of Jamie McMurray for a position. No, not for position. McMurray's on the lead lap, I would assume. Or that may be for a position, I don't know. But still, 3 wide for the lead. Up here in this lead pack. Some of these guys that got stuck behind guys with damage, not able to keep up as of right now. We'll see if this affects them long term, because we're about to get another caution in just a few laps. So you don't know if they're going to have this trouble on the next restart, if they are stuck behind slower cars for that one. But Gordon seems to be catching up fine as he has someone behind him now. He'll be up in this lead pack. Waltrip with no help down oil next to his former DEI teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. here for the race lead. And on top is David Gilliland holding strong in the Yates 48 car. Gilliland leads them across the stripe, trying to win back-to-back stages to open the season. Burton pushing Jr. down low, Gilliland, Harvick with Petty up top as they race side by side down the back straightaway. And Mark Martin's probably going to get the free pass here under this yellow. And I'm interested to see how well he runs when he gets back up in here in this, if he can get up in it, which they'll probably send. the really slow cars to the end of the line on the restart. I think Kyle Busch is too damaged to keep up now, though, so he'll be stuck drafting with Kurt for the rest of this one. Junior still down low, being pushed by Jeff Burton, Jimmy Johnson, and now David Stremme as the pack's starting to somewhat reform. We have about 17 competitive cars left in this. Maybe around 18 or 19 if Edwards and Martin can keep up when we get the next restart. And we don't know how much work Kyle Busch needs, but look at Martin. Martin's definitely still fast, because he's zooming by Kurt and Kyle Busch. Still side by side with Gilliland and Earnhardt Jr. though, as they're kind of gridlocked at the moment. Still surprised Jeff Gordon's keeping up so well with that damaged race car. You think he'd be holding up worse? But here we come, less than 10 laps until we get to the end of stage number 2. And these stage points matter so much towards the chase as well, as you try to make the postseason. And for some of these guys that are really damaged out of the race, that is not a good way to start your regular season. Meanwhile, Sterling Marlin, Casey Kane, Scott Riggs, Tony Stewart, Juan Montoya, Elliott Sadler, Dave Blaney, and Joe Nemechek, Clint Boyer, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, Casey Mears, and Dale Jarrett are all out of this race. Junior still trying to work to get clear of the 38 of Gilliland as they race side by side for the lead. It's going to be Gilliland just barely at the stripe. Junior led by 6 1,000ths last time. Gilliland led by 6 1,000ths this time, as they still race side by side down in the one. Junior nosing ahead here. He may be clear by the time they get off turn 2. Can he get clear of him? No, he can't. You see him staying low in front of Jeff Burton, next to David Gilliland. And it's pretty much gridlock. I mean, every row pretty much is side by side except Paul Menard. He has no one to run side by side with. And Jeremy Mayfield's starting to fall off the pack a little bit. I think him and Menard actually almost cost each other the draft. But this will probably be all the cars that are battling for the 500 win towards the end, unless we see another crash, which you never know, because there's this small little group of lap cars minding their own business, but they'll be asked to get out of the way when the leaders get to them. I think it's about 32 laps on a fuel tank, so we may see green flag pit stops before we get to the end of this race. Across the line they go. Gilliland leads that lap. The lead keeps fluctuating here as they race towards the end of stage 2. Will it be Gilliland getting 2 straight stage wins to open up the season, or will it be Dale Earnhardt Jr. who wins stage number 2? Junior won his duel, so he could use 10 more. He wants 10 more bonus points. Could use them as well. Never know how much you'll need them when you get towards the end of this regular season, when we come back here for the regular season finale in a couple months. More like, 6 months. Junior, Gilliland, Burton, Harvick, Johnson, and Petty. Your first 3 rows. Waltrip now just ducking out of the line, trying to make something happen down low. Can't get anyone to go with him. Across the stripe, Gilliland led it by a 1/1000th of a second, as we're coming to 2 to go on stage number 2. 3 laps to go on stage 2 though, as Junior may be able to clear here off 1 and 2 this time. Can't make it happen. The separation from Burton hurt him too much. Look at wall trip down low. Help from Robbie Gordon. Side by side off turn number 4. Junior, Gilliland, neck and neck. I think Junior may be working towards getting clear of David Gilliland, who led him across the stripe. Gilliland again by 1/1000th of a second. 2 to go on stage 2, and we do not know who is going to win it. And I think it'll still be Gilliland who wins the stage. Here, as we come to take the white flag in stage 2, I'm going to have the caution ready for after they cross the line, since auto stages didn't automatically throw it. But Gilliland pushed out into the lead, clear by Kevin Harvick, who pushed him to the stage, who he beat to the stage 1 win. Here we go, white flag in stage number 2. Gilliland off the lead. Now Harvick's going to have another shot at him as they race off to turn 1. Harvick with the lead, now clear as they head down the back straightaway. As they come down the back straightaway, Harvick with the lead, through 3 here. Junior trying to get a push from Johnson down low, but it's still going to be Harvick with the race lead. Coming back to the caution for stage number 2, it'll be Kevin Harvick who wins stage 2 here at Daytona. Harvick over Junior and Gilliland. That was fun. I thought Gilliland was going to get it again, but then it ended up being Harvick. The 01 of Mark Martin will be your free pass. I wonder if he can run down these slower cars here as he takes his wave around, but they're going a little faster, and I think they're on the opposite side of the racetrack. But meanwhile, everyone here is going to come down pit road for service. So these damaged guys are going to figure out what they need. Kyle Petty's going to stay out again. I wonder what the fuel life on his car is like at this point. As Harvick leads him down pit road for the pit stops. Not the final ones you'll see today, as you can only make it to lap 97 on this tank of gas. Maybe close actually. And obviously, we can get a yellow if lap cars interfere with the race. Hopefully they don't, but it's still a factor. So Harvick will lead him off pit road again, over Johnson, Gill, and Labonte. And Mark Martin's going to be quite ahead of these guys when he gets back to the car, when they get back up. Kyle Petty's going to come down pit road on his own now. So I don't know what that was about. Obviously, hopefully, Mark Martin can get by all these guys that are so much slower than him. But he'll have a drafting partner in Kyle Petty. I thought you could give end of line penalties. I guess not. I thought I saw a command for that. Here we come back to the restart. Harvick's gonna lead them. Green flag back in the air, and we'll keep an eye on these two quicker cars that are stuck in the back. Petty's at least trying to get by people. Martin is not. Meanwhile, at the front, Harvick's gotten passed by David Gilliland for the race lead. Gilliland, I think, has led the most laps today. I'll have to fact check that after we're done here. But he's still been very quick all day long. And you can see Petty wasting no time trying to keep up with the lead pack. Does he split Kurt and Kyle Busch as they head down the back straightaway? No, he's going to try to top side on Kurt Busch. I don't know if Reigns can keep up. Edwards trying to also keep up. As they get by Reigns and Kurt Busch. But that was not a good decision on the 45's part to stay out and wait an extra lap to pit, because he let all those slow cars leapfrog him, and it's cost him the draft. Again, let's check pit road. 37 laps on a gallon of gas, so I think they actually can make it to the checker then after pitting on lap 65. I mean, no, they might be a little short, I don't know. They're either going to be right there or a little short, but we may not find out if we end up getting another caution. Menard still trying to keep up in the pack. He got held up on that restart. Can't get there as of right now. But 30 laps to go in the 500, and David Gilliland is leading the field. Martin and Petty might go pick up Paul Menard here in a second if they can get up to him, because Menard's pretty much lost all touch with this lead draft. Or has he? He's catching up, I think. 13 cars in this lead draft, though. I know that the viewers at home might be wanting to see a bit more cars in this draft, but it is what we've got. So, Gilliland out front. Harvick looking low on Albani as they race side by side into turn 3 and 4. Harvick with the race lead. I mean, not race lead. Second. It's David Gilliland with the race lead still. As they come across the stripe, another lap wide for David Gilliland. I could just sit here silently, no one would care because I'm fucking streaming to no one. But I'm still gonna commentate in case anyone wants to watch it. Gillen still leading the field. Down the back straightaway, pushed by Bobby Labonte. Gillen stays controlling the pack as Burton and Labonte run side by side behind him. You know, let's just. Burton's gonna come down pit road. Oh, Mike Bliss is blowing up. He's gonna come down pit road and be out of it. Yeah, he had a piston to let go. As they come around for 3 and 4, back to the restart. Gillen out front, green flag back in the air. Now can Burton get by these lap cars? Not lap cars, but slower cars, you know what I mean. Because Biffle's still pretty slow. Mayfield doesn't get up through the gears well either. And I believe the free pass that time was Reed Sorensen, so. And apparently we have 3 viewers now, of course, when I throw the caution to get the field back together. So I don't know. Debris, I guess we can mark as the caution reason. But I don't think Edwards has quite enough of a car to go compete, but Burton still does, and he's trying to get back up there after taking a random pit stop under that last yellow. Kurt Busch seems to be keeping up sort of well, but we'll see if that continues as he drives off from the pack he's driven with for most of this race. Jeff Gordon, no, you're not seeing him wrong. He's not being lapped. He's still competitive. Even with his back bumper all jacked up, he has still got a fast car. And Burton's probably out of contention now. Menard, the last car in this pack, so we got about 14 cars capable of winning left in this pack. Harvick and Gillen side by side for 3 and 4. Harvick may be able to clear for the race lead here, or maybe not, because here comes Gillen on the top side. No, it's Harvick still nosing ahead, and we got one person watching, so good for you for sticking around if you've watched this whole time. Harvick and Gillen have been the cars battling pretty much all day for this race lead. We had a few other comers and goers, mainly the goers being wrecked out of this race, as Kurt Busch may get swallowed up by that pack coming up behind him. Menard trying to hang on to this pack, but he's the last one in this draft. Needs to go low, I would assume, if he wants to stay in it, because you can barely see him in shot as they come off turn 4. Junior looking low on Robbie Gordon as they come across the start-finish line. Harvick with the race lead, still over Gilliland and Labonte. Harvick may be able to clear Gilliland here off 2. Not able to, though. But Robbie Gordon still pushing hard down low. Gilliland with the nose ahead up top in the turn 3. with help from Labonte, but Robbie Gordon closer to Kevin Harvick here for 3 and 4. As they come back to the start-finish line, it's Harvick who leads the lap. Barely 24 1,000ths, which isn't as close as it was when Gilliland and Dale Jr. were trading blows for the race lead, when they were being like 9 100ths, 8 100ths, 1 100th. You know? As they still continue side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Harvick still with the advantage over Gilliland. Now Gilliland noses ahead for turn 3. Harvick and Gilliland side by side for the race lead here for 3 and 4 as you see them flying by this camera at 200 miles per hour. Nearly 200, it's 194 right now. Harvick, though, clear of Gilliland now. He's going to maybe move up the racetrack. No, Gilliland stays side by side with him in the 1, I think. No, he's actually clear still. Junior looking low. Truex and Menard are 2 other DEI cars out here, but they are at the very back of this pack and at risk of losing the draft from the pack. 3 wide behind them. Which lane does Harvick block? He's content on blocking the 38 right now, and that's going to allow Junior and Ricky Rudd to the bottom as we approach 15 laps to go in this race. And I don't think Menard has enough of a car to run up here in the pack, but he has enough of a car to trail behind the pack, which is something. And you know, we got another super speedway since we're following the 2026 schedule. Another super speedway next week in Atlanta. So these guys could be practicing for that right here as they run 3 by 3 by 3. Harvick still leads him across the stripe. Now can he control and win this 2007 500 like he did in real life? 15 to go. And in that pack of slow cars, I don't know if they're going to catch them. Right now it doesn't seem so, but we shall keep an eye on that. Let's see, they're about 2 seconds a lap slower. 2 times 15, 30. They may be a problem. Yeah, they may end up being a problem here at the end. We're running about 46 second lap times and they're about 48. Hopefully they don't end up being a problem here for us, but you never know with these AI in NR 2003. Let's see, so they were 20 seconds back at the line. 14, 26. We may have to deal with them. It won't be until like coming to the white probably. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Harvick still continues to lead the pack. Menard's gotten up in here now. Jeff Gordon still trying to hang on, trying to win the 500 with no hood and pretty much his whole back bumper beat up. As now Robbie Gordon and Kevin Harvick run side by side off turn 2. For the lead of this Daytona 500. I can mute myself again. Or not go on mute, just not talk. Harvick and Robbie Gordon side by side. Harvick's going to nose him out at the stripe. Just barely. but Gordon's still fighting back inside with help from Mark Martin. Side drafts coming from the 7 as they run side by side into turn number 3 and 4. Coming off turn 4 to get to 11 laps to go in the Daytona 500. Gordon leads them at the stripe that time. Harvick still trying to hang on up top. Mark Martin looking 4 wide though. Here we go. This may be the thing that clears. Gordon and Harvick almost went around there off turn 2. They were door banging there. I thought that they were about to go around. That would have collected many other cars possibly as well. If you remember in the clash, Bill Elliott and Brian Vickers, neither who are out here today, were door banging, and it almost ended right there for Harvick and Gordon, the same way it ended for Vickers and Elliott. At the line, Harvick with the lead once again, 10/1000th of a second over Robbie Gordon. Mark Martin trying to get by. 10 laps to go in the Daytona 500, and it's Kevin Harvick out front. Will we see another caution? Burton leading the second pack, trying to drive off from them. And again, fuel may be a concern. How much are these guys saving? You're burning a ton of fuel by running side by side up here. At the stripe, Harvick was still a little bit ahead of Robbie Gordon. Gordon still inside on Harvick though. Gets a big push here off turn 2, but Harvick's going to have the run down the back straightaway from Gillen. Gillen may push him clear and return the favor here when we get into these last laps of the race. Yeah, that's a big pack of cars. We'll have to tell to get off the track. With that, 8 laps to go. 8 to go in the 500. Junior making a move down low. He's tired of waiting around. Truex gonna look low. He thought about going low, but only Stremmy's going with Junior right here. Harvick with the lead. Now they're gonna be 3 by 3 for the race lead. Through 3 and 4. Junior and Stremmey trying to make something happen. It looks like people tandeming because there's no more than 3 cars in either of these lines right now. Now Johnson joins the bottom. Harvick at the stripe once again. 7 laps to go. And this winner could be running anywhere in this pack. Of the cars in this pack, Johnson, Earnhardt, Gordon, Waltrip have all won the Daytona 500 in their career. As they run 4 wide again off turn 2, Stremmey may not have much help down low, so that may go back to 3 wide. It does go back to 3 wide. Stremmey's going to have to go back to pushing Junior. Junior may try to pass him on his own down here. Can't quite make it happen though. 6 laps to go. And how long are you content with riding if you're someone like David Gilliland, or Robbie Gordon, or Mark Martin, or David Stremmey? How long? When do you just go? Well, that's the real question right there. you see that pack looming ahead as we have 5 laps to go. The pack still gaining about 2 seconds lap. Gillen got Harvick clear. Now Gillen's going to dive low for the race lead. Can he clear Harvick? Harvick has no help. Gillen's going to take the lead of the 500 with 5 to go. They run side by side, 4 wide, just for a moment again. Again, Harvick has no help, neither does Gillen. Single filed out here. And when they're not side by side, they're running 45-second laps. Gillen and Harvick leading the pack as they come down the back straightaway, coming to 3 to go next time by, and either one of them can win it. They're tandeming away from the rest of this pack, the fastest cars of the day. Now they're going to be side by side off turn number 4 as they come the 3 laps to go here from Daytona. Harvick and Gillen pushed each other out far, but it's Gillen who leads them at the stripe. Side by side down the back straightaway. Gillen leading the pack here for 3 and 4 to 2 laps to go from Daytona. Just making sure the lappers are out of the way for the white flag. Gillen controlling the pack as they come down the back straightaway. No one can get to him right now. Gillen sat on pole for this race in real life in 2007. They come up on the lap car of Jeff Green. Will this affect them at all? No, it will not. Coming to the white flag. The group going to get out of the way. A white flag in the air, 1 lap to go from Daytona. That may have hurt the bottom lane, if anything, because now they're side by side around the top side. Can they build up enough of a run to David Gillen, who has dominated this race? They passed him in stage 2, but it looks like they won't be able to get him today. David Gillen down the back straightaway for the final time. It isn't over yet, because here comes Harvick with help from Earnhardt Jr. on the bottom. Jr. abandons Harvick though. Here they come to the checkered flag. Junior trying to close on David Gillen. They're going to be side by side to the checkers for second, but it's going to be David Gillen who wins the Daytona 500. David Gillen wins the Daytona 500 over Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Bobby Omani. And here's the rest of your results. Mark Martin ran out of gas. Is that why we saw such a dramatic slow up in the back of the pack? That may be why. Because Martin's keeping pace. You can see it once they get past this tri-oval here. I believe it is. Something just seems to be off about the 01. Because everyone's going by him much faster. And that just killed the inside lane. So here is your finishing results from Daytona. So here we go, 2-hour race. Didn't feel like 2 hours. But 46 lead changes. Most outside Kevin Harvick of 28. And that is your broadcast, and we'll see you.